1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Okay, so basically somebody was saying, because at the end Cooper has his shirt off, and you see him from the back, like, while he's attacking somebody, and you see, like, the back of his shoulders, and they're like, oh, what if wings just came out of his back just now? And, which is so random, but I'm like, yeah, what if at the end it turns out that he is an incubus the whole entire time, and that's why everybody is, like, hypnotized to, like, give him whatever he wants, because that's his superpower, you know? It's just, like, people automatically, like, want to, like, please him and be nice to him and give him shit, you know? And like I said, it's like the whole thing is, like, some kind of weird, like symbolism for, like, pretty privilege or something like that. But the other thing I thought was funny was that, like, because Cooper, like, okay, this movie could be good with, like, the symbolism and stuff, because they didn't work with it. This is not the movie we got, but there could be a movie where, like, a version of this, like, maybe even a fan edit or something, I don't know, where, like, because the superstar, M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, like, I think there could be a good parallel between her being the superstar who everybody loves so much. She has all these crazy fans, and everybody, like, you know, wants to pay attention to her, and wants to do all this, you know, everybody just wants her because she's a big superstar. And the parallel between her and Cooper, who he's like the mirror image, where everybody hates him because he's a fucking serial killer and everybody wants to take him down, but that still results in everybody paying attention, like, all these people paying attention to him, and he's basically famous like her, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I just think that could be an interesting, like, way to look at the story, but the movie is not made like that. Like, don't get me wrong, like, that is not intended. If it was intended, it's very, very badly done, because it's not what you get at all. But I'm just saying, like, it could be there. You see what I'm saying? Like, there could be a fan edit or something, like I just said, like, where it kind of, like, focuses on that aspect about how, like, here's these two people, they both have, like, a massive following of people, like, yeah, trying to pay attention to them, but it's for two opposite reasons. Like, you couldn't get more opposite, pretty much, for the reasons why everybody wants them. And, you know, and the cops are, like, in the middle, like, trying to protect her, but trying to catch him, you know, like, anyways, but, look at this fucking piece of hair right here. Anyways, I was gonna say, because at the end he takes his shirt off, and it's implied that, which is so dumb, I hate it in movies where they're like, we have to show somebody's body, you know, whether it's male or female, it doesn't matter, all these fucking stupid-ass, like, movie stars, do they always have to take their clothes off? I saw this movie recently that I really, really, really liked, that was so good, and I keep talking about it because it impressed me, called The Devil's Own, and it's really good story, it's very complete and just well managed, and it has Brad Pitt, and Brad Pitt does not one single time get shirtless. I don't remember any time. I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90-something% sure, unless I just totally blanked it from my memory. I'm like almost 100% that Brad Pitt, like, never takes his shirt off. I don't even think there's a scene where he's wearing a undershirt. Like, he's fully clothed, like, and they're in a cold climate. He's wearing extra clothes. He's wearing sweaters and stuff like that. It's just a pretty face, you know, and his nice hair. Which is funny because this is 2 years after Seven that this movie was made, and he looks so much younger in The Devil's Own, even though it's 2 years later. In The Devil's Own, he looks so much younger than he did in Seven, and I think it's that fucking haircut. Just goes to show. If you feel like you're an incel, don't be so discouraged and think you have an ugly face, because 80% of your looks you can control. Get a nice haircut. The haircut will fucking do worlds for you. If you have a nice haircut, like, and you dress stylish, I'm just saying, like, it makes a difference, okay? Anyways, so, because, yeah, you might think that's off point, what I'm saying, but I'm not just talking about movie stars. Like, obviously movie stars are their own breed. Who gives a fuck what movie stars do? They're not like us. But I'm talking about normal people. I've seen normal people who are, like, almost a 10, and then they shave their head and they're, like, a 4. So don't shave your head is what I'm saying, if you can help it. If you can't help it, okay, I'm done. I'm done talking about hair and looks and everything like that. I feel like I'm just digging my own grave. Anyways, so The point is, I hate it in these movies where people just, for no reason, get shirtless. Or whatever. Like, it's so stupid to me. But the implied reason in the movie is that he takes his shirt off because he's about to chop up his wife and murder her, and he supposedly doesn't want to get blood all over his shirt. But this is why this shit is stupid, okay? Because what about the pants? He doesn't think about his jeans, and everybody knows, like, you go to the store, there's, like, you know, obviously women's clothes, men's clothes, it doesn't dictate what you have to wear. You can wear anything you want, obviously, and unisex and all that shit. But if you look by the, you know, by the sections of the store, or what type of store it is, men's clothes are so much more expensive. And if you, you know, you get a pair of men's jeans, which I wear men's jeans. You buy a pair of men's jeans, that shit is so much more expensive than a cheap-ass shirt. And he doesn't give a fuck about getting blood and splatter all over his jeans. I mean, which is, I was thinking about it in the car. I thought this shit was so funny because it's exactly the same as the whole fucking mermaid shit. If you think about it logically, he should be pulling a fucking Mandy or a Winnie the Pooh, take his pants off, and leave the shirt on, because shirts are cheap. Shirts are cheap as fuck. You can go to Marshall's, Goodwill, or even fucking like a store where they sell new clothes. He had a plaid shirt, that cheap-ass plaid shirt, you can replace that shit. Jeans, though, you get blood splatter all over those jeans. First of all, you're never getting that shit out in the wash. It will never come out. Those jeans will be stained forever. So if you want to get fancy and do some acid wash, maybe get a bottle of bleach and pour it all over them and then have those white splotches and be like, yeah, I'm stylish. But it didn't look like he had that kind of style. You know, it looked like he had that fucking Hank Hill style, where it's just like very, like, everything plain, you know, and stuff like that. So he wants to take his shirt off. Oh, I can't get blood on my precious $2 fucking, like, plaid shirt, but my jeans that are actually gonna cost like $20 to $30 maybe to replace on the cheaper end. Oh no, those can stay on, because it's hot when guys have no shirt and they still have their pants on. It looks hot. Everybody loves it, you know? But it makes no fucking sense. Like, it reminds me of in Frogs, one of my favorite movies, Frogs, near the end. They're going in the water, they're trying to get in this little rowboat to escape all the killer animals. And, what's his face? Sam Elliott. He takes his shirt off. But then what does he do with his shirt? He acts like, oh, I gotta take my shirt off because I don't want it to get wet in the water. He's still wearing his jeans and his shoes. He gets into waist-deep water. So, the only part of him that's getting wet is clothed, and the only part of him that's staying dry is the naked part. It makes no fucking sense. It makes absolutely no fucking sense. But like I was saying with the mermaid thing, it's just like they said in Family Guy or whatever. It's like, okay, you want to have sex with this mermaid or this merman, this merperson, but it's like, how you gonna have sex? You're gonna have sex with that fish slit, you know? And then it's like, of course you want to look at the beautiful upper body of the human, but then it's like, well, what are you gonna be fucking? The fish slit. So really, you want to fuck the human part, the human down there below, but you don't want to be looking at a fucking fish face. You know what I'm saying? It's the exact same fucking thing. Makes no goddamn sense. It's only aesthetically pleasing, but makes no fucking goddamn sense. Just keep the shirt on, Cooper. Keep the shirt on. Who gives a fuck? Burn the shit like fucking Lizzie Borden after you're done with it, okay? Or whatever. You know? Or plant it on somebody else in your fucking underground tunnel that goes between the houses, which is fucking... What the fuck is that? This is full on fantasy land here. And then... But it's just like, nope. I want to show my little body, my little happy trail or whatever. Like, okay, fine, but just leave the clothes on, you idiot. And then it's really funny, though, because at the end, when the cops come and they arrest him, he's, like, in chains and stuff, his shirt is back on. So I'm like, yeah, the cops, after having, like, tased him a bunch of times and done all this shit. And the other thing I hate... Okay, let me finish this thought first. It's funny because it's like, you know, you've seen cop shows, these cop reality shows. They'll haul a crazy motherfucker out naked and shit like that. Just blur the dick out. But no, they're like, they put him in chains and they're like, put your shirt back on, you swine. We're not hauling you off with no shirt on. Like, put the fucking shirt back on, bitch. But the other thing I was gonna say, which I hate, which is another thing I fucking hate, is because he was drugged, which made no fucking sense because he was eating pie, and the drugs were under the pie. So it's like, okay, maybe, you know, you eat a slice of pie and part of the bottom crust is there and you just eat it, and he's like, I'll eat this in 5 bites. That shit made me laugh. But, and then I was counting. He literally does eat it in 5 bites. That was like a subtle humor. That shit fucking had me laughing because I was counting. It's like in a gun movie where you're counting, like, you know, you're counting from 1 to 6 with a revolver. Like, how many bullets did they shoot? I was counting those bites of the pie, and he literally did eat it in 5 bites. Unless I fucking fucked up. But I'm pretty sure it was literally 5 bites. It was funny. But anyway, that doesn't matter. What matters is that, okay, maybe the bottom crust of the pie was like touching the drugs, which were powder. And like some people online were saying it was crushed up pills. But that's even more time. Like, and then he's like, you found my stash, my bag, like my drug stash for drugging my victims. It was like, is that what he uses? Powder? He doesn't just like tie them up or like, I don't know. I mean, maybe he blows the powder in their face like that. Like maybe it's like fentanyl or something, but no, it's like he ate the shit. I don't know. This fucking baking soda on a plate of this powdered sugar. And then, this is the part, anyway, let me get to my thought, because you know my thoughts are everywhere. The thing that drives me fucking crazy in these movies is that, okay, fine, somehow, even though the drugs were under the pie and not in the pie, he got tricked into eating it. Okay, whatever. He eats it, and then he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna be drugged now. And then he gets up and he's all like this for like 3 seconds. And then he's right back to full power. What the fuck was the point? Why even bother drugging somebody in a movie or a story if it's not gonna affect them? Like, if somebody is drugged, it should have weight. Because when I was at my friend's house the other day, we just watched Candyman. And Candyman had the exact same problem. Like, they had this bitch tied up and drugged, and they even, like, close up like that on her being drugged, so that you know. And she's like, same exact fucking thing as Cooper. She's like, for like a minute. And then she's right back to full power, getting up, running around, doesn't fucking pass out, nothing. It's like, yeah, fucking, what was that? 5-second drug, haha. Fuck you and your little sedatives. Like, that shit doesn't affect me. Like, what is the point? What is the fucking point? Okay? Like, I hate it when because people being drugged in movies is a staple of movies, like, going all the way back to the beginning, pretty much. Like, I even had a joke about it in one of my stories where it were, like, because it was those genre travelers. I had an episode that I never fully even started writing, but it was an idea for it, and the genre was like 60s movies, and how in every fucking 60s movie there's always a part where somebody's getting hysterical, often a woman, but not always. Sometimes it is a man, and they always get like dragged by a couple of people and they get drugged, usually while they're standing, and it knocks them out, you know, whatever, because the 60s is all about, you know, the early 60s, the pre-hippie times, the 50s, it's all about control, and we must control them, you know, and shit. But then at the end, all the drugs are, like, in a van, and the van gets pushed down a fucking Grand Canyon type thing, so it's funny. But anyways, I just don't like it when it's like, okay, if you're gonna drug somebody, drug them. Make it count. Like, why even bother? Why even bother if it's not gonna do anything? You know? And then somebody pointed out that he was tased, which also pisses me off, because I've seen those fucking To Catch a Predator shows, and every time somebody gets tased, they make like a super, super high-pitched sound, and it takes them down. And I hope to never be tased. But, I mean, he was tased like 3 times, and then somebody pointed out online that even though he went down after the 3rd one, he was up in full power again, like in a minute. Because when he was walking outside, he was fine. And then, like I said, like, the cops are still under his incubus powers, because as everybody and their fucking mama has pointed out, why the fuck do they let him pick up this damn bicycle? They're like, oh, just let him do it. He's such a sweetheart. Fuck, dick, man. And yeah, the whole thing of letting him, how many fucking shows have you seen when, like, his little daughter, she ran up and she just hugged him? How many fucking movies have you seen where people try to hold and have contact with somebody else and the cops stand in front of them and separate them and they're all like, no, no, like that? Not that I want to see that because it's cliche and stupid, but why didn't you get it? Oh, shit, I almost forgot the other part I was going to say. The part that fucking pissed me off so bad. When Cooper was backstage and that little bitch was going to faint, and he didn't just say, like, hey, you gonna faint? Here, take my hand, and kind of guide her. He had to pick the little bitch up. And why didn't security help her? Like, oh my god. It makes me so fucking mad in movies when somebody does a job that's not their job and nobody stops them. Like, I don't know, like, maybe it's because this happened to me in real life one time and it was a very sexist experience and I was on the receiving end of the sexism. But it seriously gets under my skin when, in a movie, somebody does a job that's not their job and nobody fucking stops them. First of all, he steps on security's toes because he should have been like, hey, this girl is passing out. And they're like, okay. And then maybe together, you know, maybe it's like she leaned on him first because he was standing closer. And he's like, okay, here, walk her down the stairs while security is kind of supervising because, like, well, it's our job, you know. And then he takes her to this little tent where there's other people laying. It's so funny because there's multiple people, it seemed like, that fainted back there, where it's like, oh, the concert, the stardom, it was just too much. You know, there's not just one person back there, there's multiple people, like, you know, that you see in the background. But he puts her on the little bed. Okay, fine, put her on the little bed. But then he goes into the drawers. And he looks through 3 drawers, and then he pulls out, I think, an ice pack or something. It doesn't matter what it was. It's irrelevant. But it's not like, you know, something major. It's not something you need a license for, but still, the fact that then they had the nerve to show one of these fucking little medics say, oh, he's so good with her, can we keep him? Oh my fucking god, as much as this movie had me laughing and rolling on the floor, that part made my blood fucking boil. I don't know why I take this shit so personally, but I'm just like, don't go in other people's jobs and do their fucking job. If it's not your job, don't fucking go in other people's jobs. Like, why did nobody say, hey, stop, don't open that drawer? Nobody went like this in front of his body and kind of pushed him back like that. Nobody slapped his hand. Nobody said, hey, took the little ice pack out of his hand. Okay, you've done enough. Please leave, you know. Are you her father? Oh, no, he probably would have said yes, but, like, oh, are you a relative of hers? No? Okay, please leave. You know, you've done enough, thank you, bye. Like, why? Why didn't anybody stop him? Oh my god. Like, and then she was happy. She was appreciative that she could stand her fat ass around there and not do shit. And she could just fucking stand there and not work and have this civilian do her job for her. And then she had a nerve to say, can we keep him? Oh, incubus magic. That's the only explanation for this shit. Oh my god. This makes me so mad. Oh my god. I just wanted somebody to go in front of him and put their hand, like, kind of shift. Oh my god, what's this? I just wanted them to shift him back with their hand and be like, excuse me, I don't come to the fire department and do your job, so don't do my job. Can you get the fuck out, please? Like, I just wanted them to say that so bad. Like, I don't do your job. Don't do my job. Like, stop poking around, stop putting your little fingers in places. Like, oh my god. I can't fucking stand it when people do things that aren't their job. Anyway, whatever. What else is there to say? I think that might be it. That's a good place to end it.